Are you restreaming
Hello.
and doing comms?
Yes. And with that, actually, hello everyone. Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we've got another match of the Ocarina of Time Randomizers Season 8 Standard Tournament here. We have Winners Bracket Round 1, JustSam versus Flea. I'm sorry, I am your restreamer and a commentator, and I'm joined by Sir Michael. How are you doing? And got a good match here between our two runners. Uh, JustSam versus Flea, the 10th seed versus the 23rd seed. Okay, I think I might have lost Sir Michael for a second here, but we've got.
I can't
Uh,
hear you if you're talking, Star.
oh, that's odd. Chat, can
Oh,
you hear either?
now I can hear you
Yes.
if you can hear me.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hi. Yes. Um. Hi, chat. Hopefully you heard at least something here. But welcome in. We have ourselves an Ocarina of Time Randomizer Season 8 Standard Tournament match between Just Sam and Flea. I'm Star who doing restream and comms, and Sir Nyquil joining me here on the comms. Got a good matchup here.
Yeah. A couple really good runners. I know Sam more through Majora's Mask, but I'm hoping for a good match today.
Yeah, this should be fun. I've had the opportunity to actually meet both of these runners in person. Saw them a couple months back at the Seed Giving Live event in person. And this should be a fun one here. Both pretty seasoned runners. You can see here on the chat screen 10th seed versus 23rd seed. Both have well over 200 races each. Although this is their first time doing a 1v1 against each other. So it should be interesting to see how it goes.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know Chat's probably hoping for pain, but I think both these runners will finish fairly quickly.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We do start with, as we switch to the race scene here, we've got ourselves a Water Medallion start with Requiem, so that is nice at least to start with.
20 seconds to go.
Yep.
Wonder if we'll start the same basic path or if we'll see divergence right off from the start.
Yeah, we'll see here. So you're gonna go start a quick prediction, I think, and then we'll be off in just a moment. Firstly, I haven't really had much of a chance to commentate S Season 8 much so far. Been pretty busy with other things. But,
This is my
yeah, go ahead.
This is my first time commentating anything, so everyone's in for a wild ride today.
Well, should be a fun time here. As we are off. Speedy speedrun check of the pedestal. Thankfully, we did pull the information on the restream side earlier. Our stones are Forest, Shadow, and Fire. Deku and Jalbu are the Shadow and Spirit medallions to open Ganon's castle. And then Water, Spirit, and DC are the other three medallions. So, should be interesting here. Both starting with Requiem, so we're going to go get Song of Time immediately from the Colossus. This is also going to be a hint. And that's nice to have Spirit Requiem early for Medallion Spirit, even if we probably won't be getting in there for a bit.
Yep.
I have
It,
no
it's
clue what
always
that
oh,
is.
that's
Oh,
an
Adult
interesting hint.
Spirit has our strength 3. Okay.
Well, we probably well, I would say we probably won't need that, but we don't know that for sure. It's very interesting that we have all three child dungeons. That can be good or that can be kind of a curse. If you're left last location in Kokiri Sword or Boomerang.
For sure. But that's actually quite useful information for our runners to know that strength 3 is just not available. You need both of the other ones. A little bit of a troll, but very much gonna be funny there.
And if you need strength free for anything, you know exactly where it is. So,
Yep.
I mean, not exactly, but the general idea of where it is.
Okay, Wasteland, Water, Lost Woods are foolish, and Colossus is Song of Time. Great, thank you.
This game. Thanks for that hint.
But
I
apparently all the W's are garbage today. Wasteland Water and Lost Woods. Well, the well, I guess, isn't foolish, but that's it.
I love Water Foolish when I'm playing Seeds. I don't know if people know, but I hate Water Temple with a fiery passion. So finding out that that's foolish is, oh, it's wonderful.
It is kind of nice. Water is the fourth medallion, so hopefully we'll be able to just go in, grab the boss key, and get out of there. And we don't even have to
Yeah.
worry about some of the time shenanigans from Water Temple, because we got that. And we got a completely useless hit for it.
And it looks like we are both going to be going up the river here, so no divergence yet.
Early play here to get some hints and information, not a bad idea.
I think both these runners will be able to do all the checks if needed, if there's items. Only one of the checks is actually in logic, though.
Yep, but they can get both others, just a recovered heart on Lower River. And it's something to keep track of for logic, that they really care all that much about it beyond just knowing where stuff can't be later.
Yeah. Logic's more of a suggestion when you're a top 32 runner.
Oh, for sure. Both heading straight up to the Upper River Heart piece, and they're gonna go back down for the grottos. Or the grotto, just a bloopy in Upper River, so logic not a concern for those checks. And Valley child checks are dead. Great.
Nice hint to have early. Oh, Rip Valley Lakers that are in the chat.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna get 2 more hints and an item here. This is Sphere Zero. It is available from the start of the game as an adult. And it can, has, and will catch many people out because it can be a little out of the way if you don't route it in right at the start like these two have.
I've had my first hook shot in this check. I've had my first bomb bag in this check, and it's just a piece of heart.
Yep. Bird and Cack is Bolero. There, there's the other copy of the. And then there's also the other copy of the Spirit Temple hint. Bird and Cack being Bolero. Okay. I mean, it's locked behind Water Temple and Spirit Temple. I'm not really surprised there's not anything useful on it because those are some relatively high item requirement dungeons. So you're less likely to get something needed on that behind those 2 dungeons, especially Spirit Temple, when we know there's exactly 2 strength upgrades available.
And we're not going to be able to get them in Child Spirit, so one of them might.
Yeah, we might get one, although probably not both. Although it would be really funny if the other 2 strengths were Child Spirit.
That would be a Seed has joke Seed.
This would be legendary if there were all 3 strengths in Spirit Temple.
It was nice that heart container had a full heart container and not just a piece of heart for our runners.
Yep.
Of course, we don't know yet if we're going to have to do Fire Temple, so.
Nope, fire is a stone, but that doesn't mean it can't be required. Game sometimes does weird things to us. There's not a lot that can possibly be required that's on OoT. We already have Requiem, it can't be ZL, it can't be Nocturne, obviously, because it's Stone Shadow. But it could be something goofy for a, Saria song.
First
Yak is
big
Path
chest.
to Goma.
So this is going to be our Kokiri
might
sword?
Be right there.
That could satisfy that path.
Yeah, Slingshot is logically required for the Deku Tree in these settings. So it is possible that's it. It's bomb chews are not it, though they are very nice.
Funny, it's going to be really funny if the slingshot is actually what it's pointing to, and there's not a Kokiri sword hanging out somewhere here.
Yep. CL and the windmill cannot be path, although you certainly do need it. 10-pack of chews there, which isn't bad. They used it immediately to check the Rita Grotto.
Nanju has hover boots.
Okay.
Might
Also
not be
not
needed.
necessarily required with Shadow and Fire both being stones, but okay. We are going to get our Skull House hints. 40 is dead, 50 is dead, and 30 and blue fire arrows on 40.
That's rough. I love blue fire arrows. But you just can't. You can't 50 skulls, you kind of can't say, yeah, we'll just go ahead and collect all those skulls to get them.
Yeah, you're not doing 40 just for that. If this were a Dungeon Entrance Randomizer, then there's a non-zero chance you could possibly need it for Ice Cavern, but it's not Dungeon Entrance Rando. You will have a bottle, Rudo's Letter, logically, before you have to go there, so... Blue Fire Arrows would be nice, but we're absolutely not doing 40 skulls for those.
Every time I do a scrub seed and I get the ice arrows, I'm like, oh, I'm like, awesome, and then I'm like, oh wait, there's just the ice arrows. They're not blue fire.
But yeah, so far our hints are kind of interesting. Furry Attack is Bolero, which is garbage. Strength Race and Adult Spirit. We don't need to do Child Valley, which is nice, I guess. And Cac's probably Pathagoma for a slingshot. Great. Well, okay, I guess there's a very low chance you could need Blue Fire Arrows for King Zora, but the odds of that are very, very, very low, given that 40 skulls is the Blue Fire Arrows. So there's a very real chance that a bottle is going to factor into the logic of 40 skulls. Not a guarantee,
the only way
but
that
decent.
only way we could really require 50 skulls is if King Zora had Rudo's Letter, and that was blocking every other bottle in the game.
Yeah, 40 skulls, not 50, but yeah.
Oh, 40, sorry. I thought I saw 50, but...
No, it was the back right. It was back right, so that back right is... Back middle is 50 skulls, back left is 30, back right is 40. Front right is 10 skulls, front left is 20 skulls. That's how I know which one's which, is I just look at which NPC they're talking to. Dompe has a Zora tunic we might want, just for Water Temple later.
Yep. Free t-shirt helps us with arts in Water Temple if we have to do Central Pillar.
Yep. And yes, blue fire arrows are considered in logic, although in this case they could only possibly, and this would be the very rare edge case where King Zora is the only thing that it could be logically relevant for. If it was dungeon entrance randomizer, where Ice Cavern was, say, in the DC entrance, then blue fire arrows would be more likely to be required because you don't have to have a bottle to get in there, but in these settings, it's not open fountain and King Zora skip is not in logic, so you are going to have emptied out Rudo's Letter logically by the time you can get into Ice Cavern. So blue fire arrows will be relevant for that. But yeah, we have had a really dry start so far. We've got bomb chews, and that's about it for particularly notable items that we can really use right now.
We go child, and we have one more item that we can use.
Yeah, slingshot of interesting use, as minute's at least a bit more solid.
Alright, and that gives us the wonderful...
Yep, sorry about that. Water went down the wrong way. Whoops.
I was about to go to text chat and be like, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just, oops. But yeah, Minya logically required for Forest Temple access, I guess, today. Forest is a stone, with OoT being Saria's. And that one's probably not required until it is. We don't have a Frog's 2-hit, and we don't have either Darinia or a Skull Kid sometimes hit, so game could give us a troll still.
I have seen a seed where was that boss key?
Shadow Temple Pot.
Okay.
And Bolero is still on Burning Cack. Okay, that's fine.
We finally have Divergence because Lee is going child.
Yep. Yeah, just so I'm clearing out a little bit more of that Last Woods SFM. We're going to grab a hint here for Flea. Shining Pot in the Shadow Temple
Shadow
is
Pot.
still the boss key. Great.
And Flea is probably going to do Castle Fairy. The question is, does Flea go for Castle Hint 2?
Maybe we're missing a lot of information right now, which
You
would be
are.
nice. Spirit Path to Morpha. Great. We're not getting in there, Fairy. Well, we could do Child Spirit.
Oh.
We do have a slingshot.
At least one item.
Lens. Okay. That's about the worst major item we could have gotten in here. That it just isn't paperweight, basically. That also really doesn't help.
Unless chess minigame is needed.
Yeah, we'll see. Can't use it right now though, because you don't have magic. Flea not going for the second castle hint, which is fine as well, given that it is pretty slow. I might have gone for it, but it also makes sense to not do so. He might be trying to keep time of day for Ranch, actually. We're gonna head into Lost Run City and then Crater here for Sam. It is a little bit of a gamble to use so many chews here, but it is good information, and Crater will be another song.
Yep. Which we can logically get with the hover boots.
Yep.
And
well, not
Kamen
logically.
Rider.
We can't blow Link the Goron up without logical something that's not chews.
Bow or a strength or a bomb bag, yeah.
Strength,
And
bomb
thank
bag,
you-
hammer, or bow.
Thank you
All
for the
good.
5 gift subs.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kamen Rider. Nothing in the Goron City maze. But yeah, logically we need to get Crater access. We need either there's 10 different items that can get you there. Any of the 3 strengths, one of which admittedly is an Adult Spirit. Any of the bomb bags, any of the bows, or the hammer to climb up EMP the long way. And that's a not in logic strength upgrade.
That's hilarious. That's a an item lock strength. Like Star said, it's about 10 items that can be locking that strength.
Except for it's down to 8 because we know where strength 3 is, and we know that one isn't it either. Okay, game. Game's got jokes.
And Flea is going to show us what Richard has. Watch Richard have our strength 1 or something.
Our logical strength one, yeah, that would actually make sense because we're running a little low on in logic checks, I think. Song of Storms in the Crater. I totally missed what Richard just gave us.
Not a strength, but we have Dins now.
Okay, that's not really. Yeah, I was going to say that's not exactly what we want to see. Okay.
Oh, I love Song of Storms. I love what Song of Storms locks. A big bottom of the well guy. Big bottom of the well guy.
Yeah, the well could be useful. We'll have to see though. And Shrugs 2 is a slingshot. Okay. We don't care, although that does increase the likelihood that of the Cack slingshot being path, because the Frogs 2 one is certainly not. Spirit of Promorph is probably either Long Shot or Iron Boots, by the way. And Treasure Chest game is dead, so that lens was complete garbage.
Some nice information from the Boulder of Destiny.
Yep. Which is nice, because we don't have magic for that, and it can be a huge pain. And for that matter, Flea doesn't have the lens, so that is a huge pain to route in. Second Spirit of Morphopath, great. We're not getting that right now.
Yeah. And then it's Sam getting their first skull.
Yep. 30 through 50 are all dead, but we do still might need 10 or 20. 10 isn't even in logic. 10's in logic, 20 not quite yet with this rather lousy inventory.
The Season 8
But
settings is 20 a sometimes hint?
it is a sometimes.
Okay.
Composer Grave Torches is dead. Ellen's Chickens is also useless. Where are our items?
I'm sure that's what Sam and Flea are saying.
Like, we're 18 minutes in. We have a slingshot, a hover boots, and a strength upgrade. And there's our first hook shot.
Bomber hammerlocked hook shot, that's nice.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that logical hammer or explosives are going to. Seems like that's going to be our next item at this point. We've seen a lot of stuff locked behind it. Nocturne on Malin. We don't want a magic meter game. We have a concerning
There's the
amount of
bomb bag.
items for Shadow Temple, as, yep, there's the bomb bag. That makes sense. Not a logical last location for a restream, but we're getting a little low on checks there. So that makes sense. And we're just gonna clear DC immediately. There's a medallion, we're right here. Might as well.
It's a couple checks, it's one more hint. Why not?
I'd be more confused if Sam hadn't gone straight here. OoT is still sorry, is nothing in the silo. We have only one patent, and we only have patents, one of which is completely useless. Great. Cax Path to go for a slingshot. That was right next to the hint. And Spirit Path to Morpha for Foolish Water Temple, which we probably can't get into.
So it's here's an
Not
item in
particularly
DC.
helpful either. And Wallet. Not great either. Fine, because we already have a Zora Tunic and Fire Temple as a stone. Yeah.
Never know if
Child
one of those
Spawn
two...
is the Impa's Roof, the DMT Owl drop.
Never know if that Saria's OOT will come into play. I mean,
That is
I'm
true.
a cheddar at
We don't.
I'm a cheddar at
Well, the
heart.
runners
So
don't want them to.
Ampe has
Loopy.
the Bloopy. Another heart container.
Yeah, the Child Spawn's actually pretty nice to be dropped on Impa's Roof. It's basically Great Nocturne, although we do have Nocturne now, but it's still nice to just have a quick access there. Just for the one-time routing, though it's not going to be a super common repeat route, I guess. We'll make maybe a little faster for Flea to get to the well once he gets storms, because he went Child before he got storms, so we'll be making a return trip to the well at a later date. Oh, Child was top of DMP, took the owl down. Gotcha. Oops.
Yeah, it looks like Sam with the very early lead by staying adult. But still, only 20 minutes in, a lot can happen.
Yep. Nothing in the DC chests here. I did not catch what Flea got out of the Composer Grave. Oops. No, we saw that as adult already. It's Minya just getting the torches, which we already know from a hint that is dead. Hook shots on the DMT wall, Shoe Cream.
First time I've seen that explode there.
Yeah, sometimes that just happens.
I'm looking to see if the tracker says what Flea got.
Oh, Composer Grave, we already got a song as adult, I realized in hindsight. Oops,
Oh, that's
that was
right.
Minuet.
That's right.
So yeah, Flea was just getting the torches chest while he was there, just to be safe, and that was nothing. Well, minor time sink, especially because Sam will never do that, since he found a hint for it, but not a huge deal.
Oh, and we're getting chickens.
Yep. Yeah, it is 3 chickens in these settings, so it's pretty quick.
And chickens could also have the Kokiri sword, but I think you're right, Star, that it's most likely the slingshot that's path.
Yeah, especially because we know that there's one on Frogs too, and that one is most likely unavailable. It's Frogs too.
Considering to get Frogs 2, we'd have to do all dungeons, yeah.
And Andrew is just a bluebee. Thanks.
I did not know there was a chicken time command for pup time, but now I'm very glad that I do know that.
This Cup Time has a whole enormous variety of triggers. I probably can think of like 20 or so off the top of my head, and there's even more out beyond that.
Let's see what King Dodongo is giving us, as he dies in the fire that he spawns from.
And Serenade on Saria.
Just a bomb refill that Sam's not gonna grab.
Oh, I did not know Pizza Time was a trigger. So the two songs we're missing are Prelude and Epona song, one of which is on Prelude Vanilla, the other of which is going to be an Ice Cavern.
And Flea is just getting the hints that Sam got earlier. That's one skill I've never really been able to master, is the backflipping and dropping a chew.
Alright, safe good for Sam. I assume he's going child now. There's not really much to do as adult left here. He can, if he really felt like it, go into Forest Temple, but I think he has other things to do right now besides that.
Yeah. 24 minutes in, you still have all of Child open, and Forest is a stone. You're gonna leave that for a little bit.
Yep. Sam Lost Woods is foolish. A little confused why he's checking the Scrub Grotto.
I think probably forgot. Flea
Yeah,
hasn't found much in Child, so he's probably just looking for something.
Oh yeah, Flea, not Sam. But yeah, Flea just forgetting. It is common to see the Grotto by Goron City, even if Lost Woods is foolish, just because that's got a hint.
Yep.
And we are really in want of information. Oh, Big Pose is dead. Okay.
Nice to
Not
know.
a great hint, given that that's one of the only two songs we don't have as a Epona song, but sure.
I guess our horsey song is out at Ice. That's gonna be my guess.
Either Ice or Prelude. We're missing Ice and Prelude for song locations, and Prelude and Eponas for the songs.
You're probably seeing that big chest and is gonna be so disappointed when, yep, it's
Sword chest here, and then I'm curious where they go next. Both runner, Sam still has a lot of child to do. Flea has a bunch of adult stuff to do that Sam already did, but kind of between the two runners, no, be honest, our stone dungeons are looking kind of appealing.
Yep, there's not a whole lot open to us that we haven't seen.
Nothing on the K-Sword chest. Path command is marginally out of the Spiritus Path to Morpho, which is what Flea's gonna go check right now, although that's probably Iron Boots for the long shot, which wouldn't be terribly helpful.
And Flea going into Child Spirit, it looks like.
Makes sense. It is Path, and yeah, we're running out of things to do. The Well is an option also for Sam. He'll do that at some point in his child cycle here. We've got the Well, we've got Fire, we've got at least one check in fire. Possibly more, possibly not, depending on key layout. We do have a wallet for the place. We have... With Song of Time, we've got a decent amount of stuff in the forest courtyards.
We can at least go. We can at least do the courtyard checks in forest, so that's not the worst. Not the worst check. The worst dungeon to go to. And that is a large chest in spirit. And Sam is nice, gonna show us Bombachu Bowling.
Yep.
Poor girl working the counter's been blown up so many times.
I mean, she's basically invincible, I think, at this point.
And Bombachu Bowling had nothing for us.
Yep.
Alright. It's gonna be a good item or is it gonna be a meme item? Chat, what are you thinking?
The answer is... There's our first
It's a very good item.
Speaking of Forest Temple, though,
I mean, it's Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening or possibly Sunday morning, depending on where you are. So, a forest nap wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
I suppose.
Unfortunately,
But yeah,
we have to stay awake, unfortunately. But
yeah, that's Olaf Stone Forest clearable. Great, just what we wanted.
where do you forgot? Where was our? Oh, that's right, blowing up Link the Goron. That's
And
right,
that's in
what
logic
Frank
with the
was.
bomb bag from top of DC.
And it's also in
Interesting
logic
play from
when Flea goes back with the bow.
Yep, yeah, that's true. The bow puts it in now as well. Bow behind Child Spirit, basically, so the slingshot. And Tech Deck Grotto is a heart container. Alright, interesting play for Sam to go check it. Just, I guess, wanting to be really thorough on the way to Ranch, actually, so that works out.
I think that's sometimes something you want to check, so that way if it's dead, you know, okay, I don't have to worry about going back there with iron boots or
Also,
like
Spirit's
cold kill.
fire locked. Yep, Spirit is fire locked. Only one key on child side, one key on adult side, no keys on child climb, so either this or Sunblock had to be a key.
Oh, Hyrule Field has hurt me many, many times when I get an item and I'm like, cool, that is my path. Nope, your path is actually, not these settings, but other settings, your path is actually the unhinted Ocarina of Time song.
Yeah, that could really see fun. Big Just on Sunblock Room, that could be something. It's not in logic, actually. As we don't have a magic meter to use that Dins with.
Yep. Again, top 32 runners, they're not going to let a pesky thing like logic stand in their way.
No, they're not going to stick to logic when doing checks, but they might want to keep track of it in remembering hints.
Yeah, you always want to keep track.
Eye drops. We don't have a big Goron hint. That's
No,
not what we want to find in a spirit path to Morpha.
No, we don't. And in case you're new to Ocarina of Time Randomizer, if you save quit when you have the eye drop, I think it reverts back to the prescription, right?
Yeah. Its eye drops are strength 3. Its eye drops are the only thing that's currently available that could be path because strength 3 is separately hinted. So that cannot be it.
Here's another
Big Ron itself
path.
can't be isn't the path if it's in always. There's our Iron Boots, never mind. Iron Boots are definitely path. But while Big Run himself cannot be directly a path in Death Mountain Trail, the item leading to Big Run could be path. In this case, it's the iron dudes, obviously, but if they hadn't been there, eye drops could have been it.
But yeah, eye drop still could have an item, just not the water temple path.
Well, it doesn't have to be. A long shot could be on Big Goron, for instance,
True.
but it doesn't have to be anything. There could also be something on that side. The bot's slightly out of... The bot takes a second to sync. I've since updated the hint command. No, I haven't. We are still missing 3 path hints, though, which is unusual. We might not... Path hints work a little bit differently in these settings than in previous seasons because we have a split win condition. It is a vanilla Rainbow Bridge, so we need the Shadow and Spirit medallions in the light arrows to get access to Gen's castle, and then we need we will get a, and then what's what I'm looking for, and then we need we all need all 6 medallions to get to Gen's castle Bosky. There we go.
He's setting up a Scarecrow song. You never know if you will need it this speed.
I expect Sam will do full climb. He knows Spirit's path to Morpha. He doesn't have a lot to do, and he's here. Like, for all he knows, his strength 2 is somewhere in Spirit Temple.
Gonna be rough for Flea if he was trying to go back to Hyrule Market Town, go back adult, because it's gonna be nighttime now. So yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Fun song. Never mind. Never
yeah,
mind.
Sunsong was on menu. That's the last thing he got in his adult cycle. I forgot that earlier too. But Bo picked up for Sam. I think Sam on his side is going to finish up Child Spirit. He's going to climb as well after falling off the bridge, and then probably go to the well for Sam. Flea is going to go adult. I'd expect go up DMT, check Goron City Crater, grab Storms, and then do DC because he's going to find his bomb bag up there. And see where he goes after that, because after he finishes DC, he's gonna get Strength off Link to Goron, the bomb bag from top of DC, and hookshot from the DMT wall. And then he's gonna basically have a choice between, do I stay adult and go Forest Temple, or do I go child and do the well? Is kind of, I think, our 2 main options.
Yep. I would venture a guess, but we will just have to wait and see. Personally, I would love to go well, but that's an age change. But it's still
Sam
very
will
quick.
absolutely go the well and just child cycle. I think the choice is a little harder for Flea. Hammer Chest is dead. Okay, we could also do... He might do the first chest of fire while he's in Crater. I don't know if... Depending on whether or not there's a key, then he'll have a choice of whether or not he continues if that's a key, because that would be another thing to think about. I mean, yes, you could go into Water Temple and look for the boss key, but I don't think I would bother, honestly, kids.
Especially with water being foolish.
Yeah,
Probably...
I'd rather just do it all in one trip. It's the Forest Medallion, but you don't have long shot. It's only going to be pretty to opponents on there anyway. And Big Pose is already hinted to be junk. I wouldn't worry too much about Water Temple for right now. Sam's about to pick up his eye drops and then his irons. There's our magic meter, which puts Shadow Temple in logic. Great!
Long shot on a long shot on Dancing Dad, anyone?
We're a hammer from Logical AD. Really?
That is true. I forgot that Stone Shadow does find a way.
Okay, that's really not. I don't think that's what Flea wanted to find. It does put the eye drops into logic. Iron boots are still not in. Eye drops are now in, but I'm not sure that helps. Flea is going to turn in those eye drops while he's here, by the way.
And he knows that his bomb bag is right there, so he knows he can get that. So he's probably going to get the bomb bag.
Yep.
Oh,
He is also going to pick up. Oh, waste the chew.
Don't waste. Oh.
Not a big deal since his bomb bag is right here, but
Yeah, but that
oops.
chew makes Link the Goron so much easier.
Yeah, he's got a bow. It's fine.
That's true.
Yeah, he's gonna go DC and then climb the MT with this round, which is fine. It doesn't really matter which way he does it. And here's those irons for Sam. But yeah, we have Forest, Shadow, and the Well are our options right now, which is I don't think what our runners want to do.
This is looking like 10 skulls and then a well play for Sam.
Makes sense. Where do you think our progression's gone to?
I mean, the chatter in me wants to say AD, but that Bicaron check, that's looking pretty nice right now.
I would absolutely turn it in here for Flea, and I expect Sam's gonna be careful in how he routes things to make sure that he also doesn't save quit to lose the eye drops and turn that in himself when he goes back up DMT.
But we've seen that's looking a lot nicer than going into fire, going into forest.
Going into Shadow Temple. The Well's fairly quick at least, but both Forest and Shadow are 12 to 15 minute commitments, so not exactly fun to decide that. And it will be a 50-50 basically for both runners between or it's going to be a 50-50 for Sam between Forest and Shadow. I can't imagine he'll miss his magic meter for too long. And then Flea's going to have a three-way choice between Well, Forest, and Shadow, which also isn't fun.
Alright. I'm a big fan of Well. Let's see what it has. As much as I love Well, it has hurt me in the past, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is the least...
There's a reason some people refer to it as Bait of the Well.
Yeah. 9 skulls for Sam, he's gonna get his 10th. And then... get that check, which 20 is also in logic. We have 10, 20... we can't do anything in our other medallion dungeons. It's that's just kind of annoying. We have 10, 20, South Hyrule Field, Adult Lake, Forest, Shadow, the Well. Child Zora's Domain is a thing. Some probably other random overworld checks I'm currently forgetting.
Sometimes seeds just come down to which stone dungeon did you check first?
And that's kind of looking like where we're at right now. Sam definitely thinking about 20 as well. He's going to be at 13 here.
Also just noticed Sam's having a very healthy seed right now.
Yeah.
Alright,
what's on 10 skulls? 41 minutes? Just a Hylian shield, okay.
Thanks, game. Really, the only hope that Slingshot is not path is 20 skulls, which is also kind of ew. Alright, he's gonna check chickens now, which Flea already did. Flea's about to defeat King Dodongo, and then 3 climbs. Where is Flea going is the big question. Yep. So, question is, what does Sam do after chickens? There we go. I knew someone had that. I knew someone had that command locked and loaded. Chickens to electric boogaloo. After well, I meant. My bad. I forgot we were doing that first. And King Dodongo is still gonna have nothing for Flea after he tosses that second bomb in his mouth. Also, I'm a big believer that King Dodongo is working against Ganon because he lives in that lake of fire. He eats bombs, yet you kill him with bombs going into his little fire pit right here.
Mm-hmm.
I am a King Dodongo's working against Ganon truther. There's one key in well.
Not really big deal any which way, since we do have everything logically needed to beat this place. We have Zeal and the bomb bag.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you grab that. That's a nice quality of life item. Especially if we wind up having to go into, like, forest.
Forest? Nice. Yeah, I'd pick that up as well.
Or water, you can just go ahead, drop it right before the boss key, and then you can just warp to it after you get your boss key. You don't have to worry about raising the water level.
Mm-hmm. It also makes our Stone Dungeon dilemma a little less terrible for Sam, in that he can choose to bail out partway if he gets something big. He doesn't have to think about, do I stick around in case there's something more deeper, or do I go bail to do whatever it is that opens? I will laugh, though, if our hammer is the next thing that shows up.
Yeah, or mirror. Actually, not mirror. Hammer. Hammer would be funnier.
Hammer would be, well, there's strength too.
There's strength.
Okay. Okay, Spirit Temple is now available, and that is going to be Sam's next play.
And there's finally strength 1 for Flea. I guess we're gonna see after Flea does everything here. Are they gonna go well, or are they gonna go forest?
I'll be honest, kids, I didn't catch Forest Temple on the Path to Evil's Bane is a good hint for Flea. That means that something in Forest Temple is or leads to our light arrow. What that means.
In about 95% of the time, maybe even 99% of the time, it is just the light arrows.
Yeah, especially. Yeah,
we have magic. We have a bow.
Yeah. Oh, and Channing to suggest, I didn't realize this because I'm absolutely terrible at seeing that item, but apparently we might have a Vanilla Ruto's Letter this seed. That's really good info, actually. We're gonna need a scale for that if that's the case.
Yep.
Market path to Baronade. That's really dins.
And that's one that Sam did not get because Sam just did the peek to see if there were any items there. It could be a big hint for Flea.
That is a very big hint for Flea. Sam might get the Metagoron. Even the Metagoron hint might be a bit of an issue because that's big info for Flea. I would turn in those eye drops immediately. Dins could be just for Spirit Temple logic for that Dins. For that eye drops. Otherwise, Flea's gonna be going to Stone Dungeons, I think, is what he's doing next. Is he's gonna grab Storms, he's going to go Forest to go track down his light, most likely. He's probably going to end up in Shadow Temple following his Dins. Although he doesn't yet know it is in fact going to be Dins, because he might put off the Shadow Temple and check the well in Bowling first, because he doesn't know that yet.
Yeah,
but as a but he did check the Lost Woods Bomb Grotto to get the hint that Big Pose is dead, so he knows it's not that. He also checked Boulder of Destiny, so he knows that the Treasure Chest minigame is dead. So Flea does know it's either Bowling or Dins, and
we know that it's Dins, but if Flea goes Child and does
So
bowling,
Flea
he'll
may
know
put
very
off
quickly.
Shadow. He might go Child to do the well for the density into and do bowling on the way just before committing to Stone Shadow, which I wouldn't fault him for, honestly.
Oh, not at all.
But that's some really powerful information for Flea that Sam does not have and won't be getting for a second. Goron City Path the Twin Rover for a strength upgrade. Thanks. That one's not very helpful.
You can see those other copies of those hints being like leaked too.
King Zora is dead.
Oh, now if we just have to dip fire, it could be Oops AD where we don't really have to do it. But we just wind up doing it. Alright. Alright, Mr. Master Bladesmith, what do you have for us today? You have our long shot?
Which is okay, alright, it's for Shadow Temple. We know Wasteland's foolish and we know the Composer Grave Tortures are done, so it has to be. It has to be Shadow Temple or yeah, Shadow Temple. It can't even be for Shadow
it's
Trial
Shadow
2
Temple.
logical shenanigans because we have hover boots, so. Path hint command is out of date. I am going to update that right now that we have all of them. Forest is path to the Evil Spain. Probably 4 just straight up lights. Market is path to Baronade for Dins. That's going to be Shadow Temple. And then Goron City is path to Twin River for a strength upgrade.
The strength, yeah. Oh, what does Hot Rod or Goron have?
Sorry,
here
I'm
we are.
commentating, running a note sheet and restreaming, so a bunch of things. Yeah, Vanilla Bomb Bag. Funny game.
Nice bomb lock bomb bag. And anyone who wants a nap this evening / afternoon / morning, we're in Forest, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is good for
Comfy.
Sam. Speaking of Forest Temple, Sam's about to get the Forest Path. And it's right there.
There it is.
Alright, we're leaving. Well, we might do the courtyards here for Flea, but I won't be surprised if he leaves after that.
Yeah.
Given
100%.
that. Okay, lights are right there.
Yeah, there's skulls. You can do the courtyard real quick. It doesn't take that much time.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. What is the wonderful Goron pot gonna have? You gonna have something stupid like Mirror Shield? Or Hammer? Need Mirror Shield, but maybe you'll be Hammer for the lull.
Mm-hmm.
I hate fighting these guys without big Goron sword.
Yeah, they are kind of annoying. Alright. Here's the updated path command. Cactus Path to Goma, as far as we can tell, it's for a slingshot, because our second one's on Frogs too, and that one is definitely not available right now. Serath's Path to Morpha for the Iron Boots. Forest's Path to Evil's Bane for those lights. Market's Path to... Okay, I apparently can't type. Market's Path to Baronade for Din's Fire.
This is Sam going back adult, it looks like.
And then the Goron City is path to Twin River for the strength upgrade.
Nope, so we're gonna get another look at see if it really is Rudo's letter.
Or maybe
Child,
not.
maybe not.
You're gonna get the hint here, though, which is this other King Zora
King
copy.
Zora hint.
There is technically, it's even that possible that Din's is logical access to our Iron Boots. We do have a pretty good chunk of spirit available. That definitely looks like a vanilla letter, alright.
Yeah, that's definitely a letter.
But there's a possibility that it's irons in our path and not behind Dins and not necessarily Shadow Temple. Water is foolish, but it could be for opponents on Prelude. Or some silly shenaniganry with the toilet, possibly, if Longshot shows up.
And Flea is going Shadow, which is a piece of a hint that Sam does not have.
No, and Sam will likely never get the copy in Goron City Maze. We don't know where the other copy is. Sam is, as chat says, probably going to do South Field after this, so Sam might find his market path there, but that's tricky.
There's the 2 back lake hints. There's, watch it wind up being like Castle 2 or something.
It might be. Yeah, for the moment though, I've marked Din's Fire as it is most likely for Shadow Temple. It could be for Spirit Logic for Irons, but that would be unusual. And would require a very specific item set, a pretty specific item chain to end up there.
Yep. It'd have to be something that's locked by Eponas. Should be like horseback archery or something.
HBA would be the only thing, because Pose is dead, and we know that Frogs 2 is a
hook shot right here? Or a boomerang?
Oh, there's a long shot.
Maybe?
Isn't that those iron boots? Yeah, okay.
Speaking of HPA.
Yeah, okay. Flea's gonna go beat Water Temple at least.
You think Flea is gonna full clear Shadow though? That's the question.
Honestly, that's a hard call, I think, at this point. Water is foolish. On the other hand, it's 50-50 between Vanilla Prelude and Opponents. Opponents doesn't even have to be on Prelude. It could be an Ice Cavern, which is unavailable entirely in Logic right now.
Yeah.
And no, he's gonna bail. I think that's fine after the first 2 chests. Go beat it, see what the song is on it, Prelude, and see if that's just not your solution. This is fine, honestly. It's easy to get back here. I think that's a fine enough choice. There's our other bow. Okay.
Water is foolish, so it's just find the key and smash the boss.
Yep.
Actually, one of the qualifiers I did on Restream, I wasn't on Restream. I got rated after the Restream had finished. I actually did the quick kill on Morpha for the first time ever.
Oh, nice. That one can be kind of fiddly.
Very impressed with myself.
And Cax still path to Goma and Remote Grotto. Yep, thanks. Our only missing hint is our Skull Mask hint.
Oh, that's not an item, that's a key.
Okay, well I should keep track of other keys, I guess. But yeah, Sam's just gonna clean up a few checks here and then head to Dole, I assume, soon, and that's gonna...
Oh,
that wasn't a boss key, actually. Alright, so we're just gonna get out of here. Sam's going to go with Dolt now. I assume Forest is on his to-do list. Shadow Temple is not going to be at the top of his to-do list, unfortunately. Forest and Spirit for Sam, because he has Strength 2 out of the well.
Sam also doesn't even have the magic or the Dins Shadow.
Yeah, well, he's gonna get magic and Dins. I assume at some point. Yeah, and yeah, you have a point though, right? Yeah, he can't do Shadow without those items, right? Yeah, Spirit's gonna be on Sam's to-do list. Forest Temple for at least those lights, because he does now have that hint. I'm a little concerned though about the Din's path might be a potential issue.
Yep.
Shadow is still fully available, and there's still only so many options in the game, but we at least Ganon's castle is not a concern today, apparently. It's looking like our Ganon's castle axis is going to be the last thing we do this seed.
That is a nice quick kill by Flea on Morpha.
Very nice. Yeah, it's really funny to say this, but I think Jabu and Deku will be our last medallions.
It always works out like that. It's like I said earlier in the seed, or I just thought it earlier in the seed. Jabu and Deku. There's only 3 items you need to do both those dungeons, but there's only 1 copy of them anywhere in the game. We have 3 bomb bags in the game, 3 bows, but there's only 1 Kokiri sword, 1 letter, and 1 boomerang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet boomerang is on HBA if this is opponents here.
I would not be surprised, honestly.
If it's Prelude, we're probably going back to Shadow, but
If it's Prelude, we're either going to Child to check bowling in the well, or we're going back to Shadow, yeah. That's and long shoot the sun makes sense, right? Because long shot.
Yep.
I have no idea what that is, but apparently not something he wants.
Another reason why I'm not a top 32 runner, because I'm like, what was that? I have no idea what that was.
And that's strength 3 for Sam.
And what is this in adult spirit?
This is strength 3, remember it was hinted?
Oh yeah.
First hint of the game, like 1 minute in. Oh, okay, game, fine, I guess.
Strength 3, less than an hour into the game. Love it.
We'll probably see OGC, but we'll never see Light Trial at this rate. A Flea has the Goron City strength, yes. Flea hasn't been to the well yet. Flea went child early, Sam stuck around Adult 1 a bit longer, so if Sam got Storms in Adult 1, Flea only got it in Adult 2, and he hasn't been back child since. There's our last slingshot. Okay, there's something else in CAC.
Yep.
That is not a slingshot path.
It is 20 skulls, I think, is the last thing that we have there.
20 skulls with a magic meter. That's big info for Flea.
Yeah.
Hovers were also in CAC, good point. Yeah. Game, I think, wants us to go to Shadow Temple.
I would think so.
Although it could also this could all just be for GTG, I'll be honest, too, because Longshot is our current only access over there. Boss key on Adult Climb. So I wouldn't be surprised if Flea goes GTG either, for that matter, now that I think about it. Happy 1 hour, everyone! Because Longshot is our current GTG access, and there's a lot of checks in there, even without Strength 2.
Yeah, that was a while ago, Trez.
Oh yeah, hi Trez. Sorry, I completely missed it. Busy with commentary here. I did not see that Jimbo summoned you.
In fact, I think Jimbo was demanding a refund.
Yeah. Lamp Dive's junk. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, hey Trez. Welcome in. We've got a steed that really wants us to go to Shadow Temple, apparently.
We already had to dip Forest. We already dipped Shadow for something, but I think we're gonna have to go back for something else.
Yep. Yeah, Light Arrows are the first chest in Forest, and did path to Evil's Bane. Shadow's not directly path, but Magic, Hover Boots, and Dins all appear to be path, so we're going back at some point. We might go back at some point. It could just be for Longshot in the first chest. There's a Ponus song.
Okay.
So yeah, Magic, not necessarily Hovers, but Magic and Dins do hard lock GTG, because both Longshot and opponents are behind it.
This looks
Lovely.
like a GTG play.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly.
A little more appealing than going back to Shadow.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Really, it's a nice cavern in that case, which is probably gonna be like behind our go mode logically, possibly at this point.
Actually never played vanilla Majora's Mask. I've played it, I've never beat it. I've seen other people beat it, but I've actually never beaten vanilla Majora's Mask.
I've never played or never mind beaten Majora's Mask myself.
Right, so fully it looks like they're gonna do the South Hyrule field checks.
Makes sense. Gonna pick up his other bow here.
And Sam here has Furor's Wind, but doesn't have magic, so
Yep.
won't be able to put it anywhere if shield isn't one of these 2 checks.
Oh yeah, I was wondering why he. Wondering about a couple things. Yeah, he doesn't have a shield, of course.
Be the second bow. And that is, yep.
I'll be honest, I forgot we didn't have a mirror shield.
I'm just waiting for Hammer to show up somewhere along one of our paths.
Yeah, honestly. It's very possible it's somewhere. We know at this point that the game is pretty clearly telling us go Shadow Temple. The question is, what for? Longshots turned up in there. That Hardlock Saponis song on Prelude behind Water Temple. So the entirety of GTG is behind that. This is also incidentally extra. Also behind our iron boots, which are also Din's locked by Spirit Key Logic. So there's a real chance that there's something over here. It's that where we're going back into Shadow Temple. We know Big Pose is dead, so it cannot be anything in there. Water Temple is foolish, so it can't be anything in that. And it doesn't appear as though we're ever going to get Ganon's Castle access, honestly, at this point, so that's not going to be relevant to anything particular there. Check it, Ashpoo. Why don't they like to grab pieces of heart? They don't need them.
Yeah.
That's
32
honestly
runners
it.
You can probably get by this speed with 5 hearts.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're nice, but they're not going to go to their way to open a chest. You might say, oh, it's only a couple seconds. Yes and no, because we've seen tournament races come down to a frame count before. So a couple of seconds absolutely could mean the difference between you winning versus losing a race. Also, yeah, Darkling does exist since his health count matches your maximum health. He's irrelevant in this seed, but that can be a consideration, yes, as Incoherent points out in chat.
Thankfully, he is irrelevant in this seed, like Star said.
Nothing on Fortress Roof. We're gonna check.
Ink, congratulations on making the tournament.
GTG.
I remember if you made Challenge Cup for the main tournament, but I know you made one of them, so congratulations on that. Alright, is our boomerang just here?
Boomerang would be the easy solution. Scale would be the easy solution as well, as we do know our letter is vanilla.
I keep forgetting it could just be for a scale. I keep forgetting that.
possible, although that would mean that the other scale is required. Is a scale lock, which probably cannons.
And nice and easy, 1770.
Very nice.
Not
Some
bad.
nuts. And some arrows.
Not HBA.
Nope. On the other side, Sam is continuing in Forest, by the way. I should note that.
Oh yeah, well, this could be a big play if like Mirror Shield's in here.
It's a perfectly rational play for Sam. He doesn't have, well, he does have Dins, but he doesn't have a magic meter yet. He doesn't have a hint for Shadow Temple either, so even if he did have magic, it might not be the top of his priority list.
That's a
He
big
doesn't
item
want to
in.
dive out of Logic GTG, so makes sense. There's player. Yep, okay, that confirms a couple path things because that is very much Dins locked. Okay.
Yep.
I don't think I see any
I
big
don't-
chests in here, but I'm
don't
also
see
really bad
anything.
at this.
See a couple keys maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah. Strength Raise and Spirit Temple hinted. They've both known it since about the 1 minute mark. They
That was
started
our
with
first-
Requiem and the hint was at Colossus.
That was our first hint in the game.
Yep.
We very quickly learned. Yep, that's strength.
Yeah, this could be a play that could pay out for Sam. There's nothing stopping some of our, like our Mirror Shield or the other of, like a Scale or Boomerang could be in. Boomerang probably isn't in. Boomerang could be in here. Only one of the items for Baronade has to be locked behind our bins. But it could also be a complete waste of time. We don't know.
Be silent for a second. I'm just gonna be refreshing my commentary page.
Yep, no problem. I'll do that myself, actually, while I mention it.
So I do have football on in the background, and Patriots had a 3rd and goal from the 25, which is hilarious. Okay, that seems to have solved my my buffering issues.
And a couple of refresh runs for the restream as well, because it does. I used to just keep track of that here and there. And so far, GTG is a bust.
Yep, GTG is the bust. The Forest Temple's the bust so far.
Yep. Flea doesn't have strength 2 to note, so he cannot check the like room. That could be something, or it could be here.
Hey,
yeah, that's
that's
a
the
boomerang.
path.
That checks. That checks.
Now we just got to get a scale somewhere to get our Rudo's letter.
Yeah, okay. That does track. That resolves our path hints. For better or worse, that does resolve all of our path hints. Or not quite all of them. Cactigoma is still outstanding for magic or hovers, which, or 20 skulls. And
If you're rooting for Flea here, you really want them to go well next, because well is required.
It's gotta be on his to-do list at some point. He's got basically most of Forest, most of Shadow. Well, he can't do anything in Spirit. He still doesn't have a scale right now for Jabu. He can't get into Deku Tree. And you wanna know what? Looks like he has 11 skills marked in his personal tracker. Sam's up to 19 according to his. If it's just a scale on 20 skulls, they might be a little sad. I assume Flea's counted keys and has figured out the toilet's dead, but I don't actually know. We do not have a hint for it.
I don't know if they counted keys because you could actually do toilet right now, so we're just gonna have to assume that they did.
Or
Or
he might not
there,
be able to tell because he doesn't have strength 2.
some people might
I
say if it's toilet and I lose because of that, then I just lose.
Yeah, it is a pretty slow check, and looks like he's rushing the well, which is the good play
Yep.
here.
There are runners that don't want to do certain checks and they just say, you know what, if that's the check, then I just lose.
Mhm. Yeah, Flea's gonna check bowling, just to make sure he clears out his market path, go to the well, and then go
Yep.
back adult.
Probably go up spirit and then realize they don't have mirror field, and we still haven't seen a scale on either of our runners.
Now, at this point, we're missing a scale, a Kokiri sword, and a mirror shield from Go Mode as a restream.
We don't even have another bottle where we could like go ice to see if like the Kokiri sword is there.
I wouldn't
Well, that
bother,
wouldn't
to
be
be honest,
logically
unless
couldn't have our first scale, so
No, I would not. No, and the thing is, we know our Kokiri sword has to be behind Kak, which is magic covers for 20 skulls right now. So I wouldn't rush. So I would not be going there right now. I mean, it's possible that both skills are in or behind Shadow Temple, but I wouldn't make that my priority right now. I think it's a little bit too much of a risk to try and get ahead of logic with that.
that's probably a last location check for mirror field.
Yeah.
Anything. All right. Oh, what's here? It's mirror. No.
Nope. Paperweight.
Hey,
Now,
team.
even if the rest of Forest Temple, there's 2 checks left at the basement and PG, even if both of those are completely useless, there is still... Sorry, a song. We don't have a
There
skull
is
kit. We don't have a skull kit
AD,
or Darunia hint, and those are both possibilities.
and they have not been hinted, so we don't. So they're both in play.
Yep.
Remember, these are not AD until they are.
Flea's gonna get his 10 skulls check, which we know is just a Hylian shield. He's gotta be thinking about 20 as well, since the other thing is Sam doesn't know that it's not the slingshot path in Kak. I don't think he hasn't done adult fishing, I don't think.
No, only Flea's done adult fishing.
So Sam needs that information before he can deduce that he needs to think about his Kak checks again. Because it
2 more
would
checks
be
in
good
forest.
for Sam to figure that out, because if Sam finds his other slingshot or decides, that seems a little fishy, I should maybe thinking about the other things in Kak, which would be magic and hovers, that might send Sam to Shadow without his Din's path hit, which would be good, because at this point, I don't think Sam's getting his Din's path.
Nope. There's
Strength 2 for
strength 2
Flea.
for. I'm gonna grab this key right here real quick. What else did? No, bottom of the well had something else besides its strength. What was it?
Floors.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's gonna be coming up right here for Lee.
You can even get it the fast way with a boomerang.
Yeah, but I definitely don't know those strats.
Or he's
I
gonna
like
save
how
himself.
Flea was totally ready to bail out of here and then went, nope, I think I want that.
Yep. And there's our last bomb bag in the forest basement for Sam. Technically a major item, absolutely not helpful.
It's so rough when you're looking for like 1 or 2 specific items and you just start getting the third bomb bag.
Yeah.
Tunic. All right, so there's one more item in forest.
And if that's not it, I'm curious where Sam goes next at this point. He still doesn't have a magic meter, actually, which reminds me, so you can't do Shadow right now. Adult Archery is a little isolated, although if he gets 20 skulls, say like the Adult SFM skull coming out of here, he might wrap those together.
Yeah, that's a definite possibility if he gets 20.
Because he doesn't have a lot else to do. He's done Spirits, he has no reason to go Water Temple right now. He can't get into Jabba or Deku. Fire is only potentially just one check. It's not a lot for Sam.
Fire's just one check, unless it's a key or the hammer.
Hammer in the first chest of fire would be rude.
I've had that before. I've had that before.
Absolutely.
And you just get so angry at the game when that happens.
Right. Yeah, yep, alright. Forest was, other than the lights in the very first chest, a complete and utter snorefest.
So if AD is not required, that's a big time save by Flea. Bailing after, well, Flea did the courtyard, but still bailing.
Bailing before doing the super slow checks, yeah. This might be good for Sam, actually. I forgot we haven't seen Nuisance yet. If this
this could have the shadow hint.
Well, no, it does tell us Skull Mask is dead, which, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm hoping Sam gets the hint here for Dins. Although he still needs to find a magic meter to use the Dins, which is a bit of an issue.
I think Sam will get magic though when they turn in 20 skulls. Unless they get a 20 is dead right now. Which would probably be the worst thing to see.
No. There's a market barricade. Actually, that's real. That's the best thing he could have found. And actually, yeah, Sam can just get the adult Cacmite skull, and that'll be his 20th. That one.
Alright, so that's well done for Flea. Probably going back adult, and what are they doing is the question.
Go back adult.
Probably walking up Spirit.
Spirit, at least. Spirit set for Roars there, go back to GTG for the Strength 2 lock checks, and if nothing is there, make a grumpy face at the screen and go back to Shadow Double, probably.
maybe do some shield flicks on the way.
Yeah.
Alright, so this will be magic, so this could push Sam towards Shadow.
I'd expect it, yes, because this will be... Because he did just get his Market Baronade for Dins, so...
And he won't have a whole lot to do otherwise, so...
There really isn't, no. But here, basically, yeah, Sam's had a bit more efficient routing in the early game, having done a longer Adult 1. But that Forest Temple play was a enormous time sink, so...
Yep. Unless it's AD. In which case it's a 4D chest big brain play. Alright, are you the Kokiri sword?
Nope. Alrighty. Alright, game, fine. We're doing Shadow. It's either GTG or Shadow is what it is behind our collection of Go Shadow Temple hints, basically.
Right. As we expected, Flea is gonna climb Spirit. And we'll see if Sam bails after getting a long shot, because we know that water's foolish, so he might say, well, I'm just going to be coming back after I do water, so maybe I'll just go further.
Yeah, at the same time, he does know, too, that it's going to be a, it's a 50-50 chance on an opponent's on Prelude.
Yeah.
So we were discussing
especially since they just lost all that time in Forest finding nothing.
Mm-hmm. And Longshot just straight opens GTG, besides.
Yep. Might be a bit rough to push further into another stone dungeon when you don't know if it's AD. And there we go. That's strength 3 for Flea.
Yep.
Right,
I am curious when someone will check OGC, because that might have something funny. It's not logically behind Shadow Temple at all, but or magic or hovers. That one is just strength 2 locked, but could be something on OGC.
Could be Hammer.
Hammer
Like I said,
and OGC.
I'm a chatter at heart, so I kind of want a little bit of like drama. So I'm sure as I get more and more comm experience, I'll get seeds where it's like, oh God, would you just end?
It
All right.
definitely happens for sure. I've commentated some absolute doozies. It's kind
You
of
comment.
interesting to see some seeds that are really trolly, but after a point, it also just becomes, man, this is just this just kind of sucks.
Do commentary on RSL seeds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
RSL
fine.
especially can be a bit of a, man, this is just a drag. But this one hasn't been too bad so far. A little.
What is? I think Sam's continuing on in Shadow.
It looks like it, yeah, which I think is also a fine play. I mean, there's arguments to be made any which way.
Like I said, we know that there's going to be nothing in water, and that while GTG is open, it's definitely not the worst play that you could make.
No. I think for Sam, it's more or less a play, basically, between Go GTG versus Go Shadow, and he's choosing to go Shadow, basically. And that's fine.
Yeah, could just be a
Yeah.
Kokiri sword or mirror shield hanging out here that we don't know about,
Or the scale.
or the scale that we don't have. That could after they bail out of here, we'll probably go GTG to do the strength 2 checks, and then could very well also go back into Shadow or Forest.
I'd expect so, yeah.
Probably Shadow more likely than Forest, and of course that is a key, which is wonderful because that means you have to collect all the silver rupees.
Yeah, it will definitely. I'd expect Shadow for Forest for Flea. He knows that. Well, go back to GTG. If nothing is over in the like room, go back to Shadow, because if it's not in GTG, that means that the Go Shadow paths basically are still unresolved.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's in the chat for Flea.
that's an ouch. Yeah, getting whacked by the Iron Knuckle there.
Thought about it when Flea lined up for the crouch stab. I was like, ah, they're a little too close, or a little too far away for comfort. And yep, I've
Thankfully,
died
as
to
for
Iron
Roars.
Knuckles. I've died to Iron Knuckles many times.
Yeah. Which does remind me here of the almost 1 hour and a half in. Let's please give our runners a follow, Sam and Flea. Thanks as well to Stern Nyquil for joining me on the commentary, and to Carliana and Lady Draco for doing the tracking.
And thank you to my co-commentator, Star.
Absolutely. Always fun here.
Talks a lot more because if I had to fill all this time, there'd be a lot of silence. So
I need someone to bounce off of as well. I've done solo comms before. It's not a good time.
here we go. Is this? It's the bottle.
That's not it, game.
No, you can't do Shadow without magic. You need magic to get into Shadow.
Yep. Yeah, the bottle's not path at this point. We know King's Aura's dead and Big Pose is dead, so.
Oh. He did get his magic very early in this. Well, much earlier than Sam, I should say. All right, what is Lee gonna do after this? After he sees that this is nothing. I think Sam's gonna be smashing Pongo. Still going on, still collecting keys. Oh, heading for roars. Then what do we have here? Oh, that could be big for Sam. But Flea's going right back. Going to be able to get that K sword if they go deep into shadow.
Yeah. I mean, it was a play between something less than 5 items left in GTG. I don't know how many. I don't know. Because I'm terrible at seeing the maze, I don't know how many keys are left in GTG, but it's not much versus just going straight back here because it's basically both Path to Baronade and Path to Goma.
Yep.
So that makes sense.
We are now just literally a scale and a mirror from Go.
Yeah. I
Fortunately, I
guess
don't
Mirror
think we
could
have.
be. Yeah, go ahead.
We don't think we have hints for those. They could both be in Deku for all we know.
Mirror could also be in Ganon's. It's the only thing that could
Very
be in
true.
there at this point.
And we have to do the Shadow Pot Room because of it's where Boss Key is.
Yep, we
And yeah,
got that hint.
I think at this point you just say, you know what, I'm gonna full clear. We're just gonna beat Shadow because Sam might also be going. Maybe it really is AD,
Yeah, especially for Sam
which is
having.
rough, but
It
it's the
might pay
downside when you
off.
get like when you get Nocturne is on Ocarina of Time or Nocturne. You're like, okay, I have to do that if Nocturne's a medallion. Things like Sarias and Storms are like, do I have to do them?
For sure. It's a tricky thing with this.
Vanilla scale is child fishing, correct?
No,
Or
Zora
is it
diving is.
Zora diving? Yeah, we've not checked no one has checked child Zora's domain yet, so
Nope, I mentioned that briefly earlier in listing of random overworld checks we hadn't seen. It's just a really slow check to do. They both did River and Adult 1 right at the start of the seed, and they have had absolutely no reason whatsoever to go there as child, so those are just
it's
some
two
really,
check
really isolated checks.
yeah, it's two checks that are really kinda out of the way from everything else, especially without a scale.
Yeah, Frogs 1, 2 makes it 3 checks, so 3 checks isn't really any better.
Excuse me.
And actually, Sam's gonna set furrows here.
Yeah, I think probably bail and say, okay, I have this in my back pocket if I need it.
Hmm. Makes sense enough. He's gonna play Prelude, not Prelude, Serenade, gonna go beat Boulder while he's here, that's fine.
Yep.
Especially for Sam, because he doesn't know if this is Prelude or if it's Epona's, and if this was Prelude, that would save him some time in his next child segment.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping it was gonna be Prelude for a minute for the hilarity, but of course we know that it was Epona's.
Yep.
All right, now the question will be: does Flea bail after they get Kokiri, or do they full clear? Do they bail where Sam bailed?
Flea does have his furrows in the top of Spirits, so that's a little bit of a choice as well for him, because he probably doesn't want to give that one up, although we'll see. It's
Yeah,
a tough
especially
choice here, because there's an argument to be made any which way. Deku is like 6 checks, but Shadow's still got a good
literally
couple items left. Your missing letter or skill could just be still here in Shadow. There's the possibility of AD. A hammer could be sitting around somewhere just to make your day extra fun.
still 4 checks after for the fan room.
And Flea does decide to bail. Alright.
All
And
right.
that's fine. Again, there's not really any one obvious choice in this situation.
As a runner, sometimes you just have to say, well, we're going to do this, and if we lose, we lose.
Yep.
Actually, with how quick these two guys usually play seeds, they're probably like, oh, seed's getting a little long for us.
Yeah. Technically, for the moment, in terms of immediate direct, where are they in medallions done? Flea has the slight edge over Sam, having beaten Water already, but
And once Sam goes to GCG, if they go to GCG, it'll be interesting to see where we are at that point in time.
yeah, because yeah, Flea also has the boomerang up on Sam, right? So
Yep.
yeah, it's kind of it's an interesting race for sure. Still, Flea currently, I'd say, has a bit of an advantage in terms of things that he absolutely 100% has had to do. But that forest could come back to bite for Flea.
If it winds up being an ADC, that could work out for Sam. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yep, race is not over.
And Sam, of course, also getting the quick kill. Both our runners being very good at that. Oh, I don't think have we seen this grotto
We
on
did. I
Sam's
wrote down
screen?
the hint.
Oh, we
It
did.
was that hint. Yeah, Goran stated Twitter which does not help Flea at all.
No.
He might do Child Goran City while he's in this child cycle, but I don't think he's done that yet. But he does already know he got a strength from Link the Goron there, so it's not a big deal. This is best of one, Manchi. We are doing double elimination brackets for Season 8 Top 632 this year. The winner of this, I need to go track down the start.gg.
This is the first race for each of them, so they will be. Now they both have at least one more race if they lose.
Yep. The winner of this goes on to face Hyper, and the loser goes on to face Shelter. The Runia and Skull Kid are both behind AD. Neither are hinted. Skull Kid actually can't be anything I just remembered because Lost Woods is foolish, but the Runia
That's right,
could
Lost
be.
Woods is foolish. So it's just Dancing Dad.
One single lonely check, because Froxy was a slingshot we really don't need. Oh, speaking of slingshots, Sam's gonna get the other one and know for sure, yeah, right, thank you. That Cat was not path for the slingshot, it was in fact for Magic and Hovers to get that keysword I got a few minutes ago. Thanks!
And for anyone new, the reason Star is saying that is because an item can only be path if you don't have like logical access to another one. So because we have access to the slingshot cannot be path.
No, because there were multiple slingshots available.
Yep.
That is especially for items where all copies are functionally identical in terms of logic. Like a second slingshot or a second bow or the third bomb bag or a, double magic is nice to have, but it doesn't give you any new checks.
Whereas the long shot does give
is
you
a bit
new
different,
checks.
yeah.
And this is a big chest in Deku.
Yep.
Is this our scale?
I'll laugh if it is. Or if it's a hammer.
Hammer.
And it's a scale.
Oh boy. Okay, so it's gonna be Deku and Jabu for very soon, and it's just gonna be a Where's Mirror Shield.
Yeah, that's a very nice, actually, child segment here for Flea. Gonna beat Deku, go Jabu, clear that, and then probably go Ganons, I think.
Yeah, that's very nice to be able to clear your Jabu right after Deku.
Yep. Skull Kid is in Lost Woods' Child. It's on the left side. I think the left side. It's going towards the Lost Woods Bridge.
Lost Woods is one of our foolish hints. So.
But Skull Kid, he stands on a stump in Lost Woods. You play Saria's song to become friends with him. He gives you a gift, basically. I actually don't remember what Skull Kid gives you in vanilla.
Oh boy. I think a heart piece.
That was my thought as well.
I think it's just a heart piece. It's been so long since I played vanilla. A lot of times I'm like, what was this in the vanilla game?
Yeah.
Alright, what is on Goma? on, go. These cutscenes seem so long when you're racing.
And Sam going child as well makes perfect sense from his perspective too. Going to go do Deku. Unfortunately, he will not be able to do Jabu because he hasn't been to GTG yet for that boomerang.
Yep, it's gonna be able to get Deku, be able to get the. He'll be able to get Rudo's letter, but unfortunately, like you said, does not have boomerang.
Yeah, and it's not as though like these runners had made any like major mistakes in routing. You know, like nobody had misidentified a freestanding item or something to that effect, because that's happened many times before. Unfortunately, it's just different choices in routing, all of which made sense. And so far, Fleas has, for the moment, ended up paying out a bit better, but things could still change.
Yep, one of Flea's big things, Flea vs. Sam, is Sam's decision to full clear fourth, and with nothing.
Alright, and speaking of things, where's that hammer brain? Where's that mirror shield?
Yeah, that could be the great equalizer. Where is Mirror Shield? Know what chat's? I know where chat's hoping that the Mirror Shield is.
So yeah, this little fun thing we like to do, put a belt in chat with an exclamation mark bet. Where do you think our mirror shield's gone to? As a refresher in chat, we have all of Jabu, these two checks in child domain, Ice Cavern's an option as well, GTG Like Room, all of Fire Temple, the back half of Shadow, assuming Hammer's available, that is, which it probably is. We have all of Ganon's. Daruni is an
I don't know
option.
where I want to bet. Let's see. I'm gonna be boring. Be boring with my my bet.
The toilet is an option, I believe, as well. It could be right there.
It is true, because Flea's the only one that's gone to GTG, and when they went, they did not have Strength 2. So we do have, and they didn't check toilets, so it could very well be toilet, could be Strength 2 checks in GTG. Never know.
Yep.
I think Sam will unless Flea finds the mirror field like right here. I'm sure they will very quickly go to GTG.
Yeah. Oh, hey, battle buddy game. Great. So apparently a battle's been available since forever, not that it did anything.
All right. Yep. So could be on Jabu, or it could be really stupid and be on Icy Waters or the iceberg in the back of Adult Fountain. I seem to get Fountain foolish a lot with speeds, so I really don't think of Fountain that much. Oh, still getting this in. Just a repeat of the big poses foolish hint.
Yeah. I mean, at this point,
According
just making
to
sure he didn't
Flea's
miss
tracker,
anything.
they're still missing one sometimes hint, and that sometimes hint could very well be, very well be where Mirror Field is.
Yeah. Let's see. Actually, gonna go. Yeah. Let me go just blow the thing up. I can't actually read his this very well. Yeah, I don't think. I thought he'd seen the big post hint earlier, but he might not have written it down. He definitely knows it now, though.
Yeah. I think I don't remember where the first hint was, but I'm fairly certain both of our runners had seen it earlier. Hopefully, we'll probably still collect these skulls because they still are not at 20. They're at 12 according to their personal tracker.
Yep.
Oh, I think maybe they're just saying it's not 20 skulls because they didn't collect any of the skulls there.
Hopefully, yeah.
Right.
Taking a bit of a risk, but
Yep,
well,
it
you
is.
know, it will be fine.
This is Sam getting Rudos, and then they're probably gonna do the X in domain. Yep. Or items back in Jabu.
Yep.
I bet is for probably the next one they'll check. We'll see. Oh, not in the first tentacle or whatever you want to call it.
Yep. Boomerangs in the GTG Pier chest, Venerus. Flea didn't. Basically, the difference there is that Flea did Adult 1. Well, Adult 1 was a lot shorter than Sam, so Flea didn't get Storms the first trip. Didn't have. So didn't get the strength 2 out of the well for a bit. So ended up following us, looking for hints and following them into shadow for long shot into GTG relatively early, and then that got him his boomerang basically.
When they did GTG, they only had 1 strength. They did not have strength 2, so they weren't able to full clear it.
Nope. And those last couple checks could be that mirror shield.
All right, here we go. Here's my bet. I promise I don't have the spoiler log when it appears here. I mean, we did kind of call Spirit early on, or Shadow early on, but
Well,
not
you
Stingers.
were not it. Yeah, back will close in a minute or two here. Probably gonna close it when Sam gets into Jabu, and then we'll see what's. To see where our mirror shield's at, because that is the only thing we need as a restream, man. The only thing we're guaranteed you need, that is. We might still need to find a hammer first, though, admittedly.
Now the question is, where does Sam go next? Do they go back to Shadow? Do they go to GTG?
Those I think are his main 2 options, yeah.
Doing the fountain fairy back? Is that what we're doing after the hint they already have?
That would make sense, yeah.
Nope.
And, well, Sam doesn't have Roar set, no. He's gonna do the boomerang chest and set for Roars in here.
Yeah, that's true.
At this point, you don't want to take the risk that your boomerang's vanilla. And
For those of you that don't know, you can have 1 adult Furore set and 1 child Furore set.
Yep, that's a nice quality of life added by the randomizer. Vanilla just deletes your Furore set at a point, I believe, when you change ages. Also, bet is now closed.
I did not win, unfortunately. We got 1 more check here in Jabu, and then it's actually going to be where does Sam go and where does Flea go? I think you're right about Flea, though. I think Ganon's is a very attractive option, especially with Strength 3. And smash these consoles, and then go on to the switch room. And unfortunately, the only check in here Sam can do is the Stinger's check or the vanilla boomerang check.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else requires an actual boomerang, so. Nice to see a top 32 runner grab the block just like I do and not try the swag stat. Like thread of rolling. There is a way to step on that block and then roll to the door to open it without a block. Left is Baronade here. See if Flea can get the quick kill. And Sam is making quick work of the Stingers and gonna find out that this is not what they're looking for, and we'll see where they go next.
Yep.
Right. And this looks like it's gonna be a very nice quick kill of Baronade for Flea. Okay.
Alright, does Baronade have her mirror shield? Nope.
This is also nope. It does. They do not. That's also another like scene that just feels so long when you're racing. Like after you've smashed Baronade, waiting for that reward. All right, and now Sam is going to check that fairy fountain. I would assume Leah's going to do the exact same thing. Just one hint. We're still missing hints. And that was just the treasure game.
Chat, we as a restream have seen all the hints. Boomerangs and GTG, Manchi.
Oh, we have seen all the hints. I wasn't counting them, and I know Flea has one missing on their tracker. It might just not have marked it, basically.
I think Flea didn't write down the pose, and that looks a little hard to read, but he does have all of them. And I posted the link in the Restream organization channel, but I do have a notes sheet that I'm running tonight with which I keep track of all the hints on.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we do have all of the hints now. The Skull Mask was the last one we didn't have, and that one was at the Deku Tree for Sam.
So Sam definitely going back adult now. Lee's probably going to check Hot Rod or Goron and the pot, even though we know that that's nothing.
I mean, it makes sense. You're here. Flea is never coming back, child. You might have... Yep. And in Goron City's path, it is definitely for the strength, but who knows, there might be a second item, and you really rather not leave this behind, because if this is here and you lose the race to it, yikes. That has happened before.
There is a saying, full clear your WAP and full clear your path. Just because you found one item does not mean it's a path item.
Basically, the game generates a list of items that are path. It looks at the goals in the game, tries to remove an item, sees if you can still reach that goal without the item, and if it sees nope, the game's no longer beatable, alright, it's on the path to that goal. And then the path hints pull a random item off that list of path items. So it is only ever guaranteed to be one item off of each path, but multiple items on the same path in an area increase the odds of that area getting hinted. Which is why it's not a guarantee by any means, but it is slightly more likely. bit of a probability thing, which
Here's an interesting question.
mhm.
Besides GTG, what does Flea have that's not locked behind a stone dungeon?
Nothing. Not much. I'm not sure if
Yep.
there's GTG or Ice Cavern. Or Ganon's actually. I forgot. No, he has Ganon's.
Oh, that's right,
available.
Ganon's. I keep forgetting about Ganon's. Part of that's from doing scrubs, where you don't have access to the bridge until you have all dungeons. Ganon
Oh yeah,
never has anything.
Yeah, it's been a couple seasons since we last had Ganon's access available for 6 medallions since the main tournament. So
Oh, looks like this is gonna be a Frogs 1 check that we haven't done yet.
yeah, I mean that all makes sense here. Just don't isolate these child checks. They're slow, no denying that, but
He's one-up
if
checks,
it's go
knocking
mode,
him off.
yeah, but if it's go mode, you just saved yourself half an hour probably.
Welcome in, T-Rist. This would not be a Rush Ice Seed. We got our first bottle maybe an hour and a half into the seed.
Something like that. Yeah, that was pretty late.
All right, what is this? Yep, that's the Serenade to go back adult, and we'll see where Lee goes. As Sam is gonna probably do HBA and then GTG. The nice thing for Sam is that they can full clear GTG.
Yep. And yes, we are missing a mirror shield from go mode. We have resolved all of our path hints. It took a bit and multiple trips to Shadow Temple, but all paths are resolved. Our remaining major areas for that mirror shield. It's not in Spirit Temple. It's not in Forest Temple. If we can track down a hammer somewhere, all of fire would be available. We have the back half of Shadow past the boat available. We have all of Ganon's castle. We have the strength 2 lock checks and the toilet in GTG.
That's
We've
about
cleared
it.
the overworld pretty thoroughly, so there's like OGC, and I think we haven't seen Crater Fairy, obviously, but there's not much else. Oh yeah, the path hint does need a minor update. Yeah, our paths were Cactagoma for Magic and Hover Boots for Kokiri Sword and Shadow Temple. Spirit to Morpha was for your Iron Dinsfire, which got you a long shot, as well as a Kokiri Sword, because our scale was in the Deku Tree. And Goron Seated Minerva was for Strength 1.
And Flea is going Ganon's castle, probably gonna do the or not.
No leads on the shield. No clue where it is.
One Twin Rova hint was a strength in Goron's Biddy, so and I'm gonna be silent for 1 second, and I will be right back, Star. Star comes back. All right. Oh, there's a big chest. A big chest in Light Trial. Is this Mirror Shield? It's the hammer. Ah. We can do AD for a one-off Dancing Dead. It's available. I think they probably Flea probably does go to fire real quick. Assuming they don't find shield here. Right. Or else we can definitely do an easy shadow too. So, all right, we'll see. Is it here in Spirit Trial? You know that that's what Flea is hoping, that it's in one of these two trials, or possibly the climb. I can never hit that with a bow. I always need a Bombachu to do that. Oh, we lost ours. Hopefully they will be coming back, considering they are our restreamer. You guys are unfortunately stuck with my dulcet tones. Oh, a strength 2 check in GTG. We'll see what this is. BGS. I mean, that makes things... Okay. Alright, Golden Devil hopping on in. You can definitely take over comms if you would wish. If not, I'll just ramble and talk and do my thing here. Alright. Well, I missed it because I was checking on something in the channel, but this is go mode now for Flea. So unfortunately, Sam is GTG is not going to be the correct call. Oh,
hi, I'm back. I guess.
Welcome back. So we found a mirror shield in Ganon's castle. I'm not sure if it was that Spirit Trial, chat? The Water Trial? Which trial was it? Oh, Forest Trial. Okay. And of course, getting bullied by an Iron Knuckle again.
Yep. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, my internet just spontaneously quit. Wasn't sure if it would come back because it's sometimes when it doesn't quit often, but when it does, sometimes it's out for a bit. So I wanted to be safe. But it looks like we found a mirror shield. Where was that?
It was in Ganon's castle, Forest Trial.
Oh, it's not too bad then.
But you missed the troll before that because we did Light Trial first, and there was the hammer in Light Trial.
Nice. A little sad I missed that then.
Yeah, if you watch the restream back, if you watch the VOD back, you'll be able to hear me like audibly laugh when we find the hammer. But then we shortly found the mirror field.
Yep.
I knew something was up when I told you I was gonna go AFK for a second, and then I heard no response. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
no. And your internet dropped.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, it's all but over as Sam is full clearing GTG. They did find BGS in GTG, which was Strength 2 locked.
Nice to have, at least, but that's about it.
Early on, it's nice to have. It's nice to have that. And happy 2 hours, chat.
Happy 2 hours, everyone.
We're probably, what would you say, 10 minutes from our finish?
Less at this point. Tour Nova Phase 2 doesn't take terribly long. Usually the tower climb is 6 to 7 minutes.
I'm going to survive my first com experience.
Yeah.
And
if meeting with you.
If you're new to Ocarina of Time, we're gonna have a lot of matches on both this channel and the Silver Gauntlet channel as we're just starting our Season 8 tournament. So if you like what you see, give us a follow, and we'll have plenty of matches in the upcoming days.
Yep. The CC's actually doing a restream of their own right now over on their channel for Challenge Cup match. Which reminds me, I'm going to go check see how that's going. I'm one of the organizers for the CC, actually.
If you're wondering what the difference between Season 8 and the Challenge Cup is, basically it's just seeding. The Season 8 tournament is the top 32 runners in the qualifiers we had, and the Challenge Cup is 33 through 96.
Correct. And it's very, very competitive CC, as it always is. Got a lot of runners who just barely missed top 32 this year, who've been in top 32, top 64 in previous seasons, and plenty of newcomers up and coming as well. It's always fun to see the mix of people we get into CC every year.
It's definitely seemed like one of the closer quals in recent years.
Yeah, the community's only ever gotten more competitive over the years. I've been here for almost 5 years now. I joined in I kind of discovered the ZSR YouTube. For whatever reason, the YouTube algorithm decided to recommend me the season 1 VODs at some point in late 2019, which is how I got into things, basically. I started watching Twitch a couple months later, and I think it was February 2020, I started tracking a little bit after the tail end of season 3, and so it's been almost 5 years now for me, which that feels really weird.
I found the Challenge Cup and the tournament 4 years ago. I was in a couple of weeks. It'll actually be the 4-year anniversary. I was out of work because of a medical issue for 3 weeks, and I had nothing to do except lay around at home. And luckily, the Challenge Cup and the season 4, season 5 tournament were going on, and
so it was 4 years ago. That would have been S4, yeah.
There were at least 2 matches a day. I think Star usually commented at least one of them, so that's how I got into OOTR.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Sam's been around for longer than I have. One of many members of our very, very large Francophone community. Sam's from Quebec, in his case specifically. Lee's a little newer, but still been around a good couple of years himself. And is doing pretty well here, obviously.
Yep, obviously going to get the first win and move on to the upper bracket, while Sam's going to go to the lower bracket. And it looks, I think you said earlier, Star, it's Sam versus Sulzer and Flea versus Hyper.
Correct.
Hey, Flea finally didn't get bullied by an Iron Knuckle. Actually really nice for Flea to have found that hammer, considering they did not get BGS. The Ganon fight, otherwise probably would have had to go to Deku Nut strategies.
I forgot to resolve the bet, right, because of
Yep, it was Ganon's.
Yep. Right. No one actually guessed anything in Ganon's Castle, so Shoot Cream is the next closest that takes it with the OGC. And I'm just gonna take this one because I find it funny. Star whole bet, Star ate it.
I did want to say something about that was the winning bet, but right. And because this is the top 32 match, I'm sure Flea will not get knocked off the tower like usually happens to me once every other seed.
And actually, as far as the prediction goes, the people who bet on Flea winning this one, you earn some channel points, which you can redeem on this channel for any number of things. You can, there's some smaller rewards. The big ones are if you send 10,000 points, you can have someone like me roll a seed for you. 25 points gets you a pull. If you want to summon Trez, that costs 50,000 channel points.
Like Jimbo did earlier today.
Yeah. 100,000 points suggests a raid target, and set 250,000 points is what you need if you want to get a trust special.
And Lee here getting trolled a little bit by Ganondorf. And there is, if you do decide to redeem the star seed, there is kind of a meme about star seeds, so just think long and hard about that before you decide that.
All of us tend to have a bit of a meme. Randomizer does some interesting things, and us restreamers are not immune from our own horrible seeds. We roll ourselves terrible seeds too.
Yep.
I've rolled myself some absolute trash before. And not just for OOTR, I do play some other randomizers as well. And, yeah. Rando will always rando.
Rando's gonna rando. And Kitstopher, you're completely right that this looked actually pretty bad for Flea early on, but it just shows the early game, doesn't always tell the story.
No, I mean,
when they found nothing in Child 1.
Oh man,
Almost
no,
nothing.
but it ended up working out just based with the item placements and hints that Flea ended up with a better route, but it could have just as easily gone the other way. This was a very good race here. Neither runner made any major mistakes. Nobody misidentified a freestanding or anything to that effect, because unfortunately I've seen races come down to that before, and it's always a bad time when that happens. But no, this one was just they made routing choices and then found items and made choices based on that, and it turned out that Fleas worked out better.
And the routing choices were correct, basically, is what it boils down to.
Yeah. And that's always the fun thing with Rando, is seeing you make choices based on what you have and the information, and sometimes it works out, sometimes not as much. That's what makes Rando fun. Instead of doing the same thing every time, like you would in a vanilla speedrun.
That is the last hint before Zelda comes in, so get your GGs ready in the chat for Flea. More splash to receive some bacon.
Yep. Finish with an official race time, that GG time here, just barely missing the sub 210 of 210.05.
That is GG to Flea. And Sam, unfortunately, getting the notification in race time and
has decided as well to forfeit, which makes sense here.
Yeah.
Got a ways out to go, knows he just recently got the boomerang, still is missing out that mirror shield, so. But we won't be getting Flea in for an interview here. Sam does have some other things to do this afternoon, but so will not be joining us, but GG's to him all the same. Good luck to him versus Schultzer. And let's see what Flea thought about this seed. Hey Flea, GG.
GG.
Hey, GG.
What are your thoughts on this first seed of the tournament for you, Flea?
It went better than I expected. Yeah, I haven't played pretty much since quals, so I was feeling very rusty and trying to just get a bunch of games out in the past 2 days. And yeah, today's went better than all my practice seeds, so that's good.
That's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Your Child 1 segment, you went Child much earlier than Sam, and it looked like it wasn't going to pay out. In the end, you finally made the right routing choices.
Did Sam end up going up trail and finding the bomb bag or something?
Yeah, he went up trail. He found the bomb bag, hookshot, strength.
Oh wow.
He got storms from DMC.
Yeah.
He basically used up his entire 2-pack on all of that. So he was able to go. When he went Child for Child 1, he could clear the well that trip. He got strength 2 out of the well, which made us kind of concerned for you, especially.
Yeah. I when I went GTG without a strength, and then later in my next Child section found the strength, I was like, oh, like I felt like I was in a very bad spot at that point.
Yeah, so we were concerned about that for sure for you. But then on the other side, you checked those Goron City hints early. You got the Market to Baronade and Forest to Evil Spain, which made us think, that might change things up a bit. Also, shoutouts to the game really telling you, go Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
Very, very clearly telling you. Well, we had a little bit of a laugh at the Cactagoa being next to a slingshot, even if it didn't end up being for that.
Yeah.
Um, but Margaret de Baronade for Dins, Forest Evil's Bane, obviously for Lights. One of the other things that Sam did end up. Sam in that adult one peeked the chest in the Grand City base, but never got the hint. And there, and that was the first copy of Market of Baronade. He got that hint a lot later after actually beating all of Stone Forest and getting the hints by Deku. So
Okay.
that was also a factor in his
uh,
grounding, is he didn't have as much reason to go back to Shadow Temple as you did,
right, right.
Sam
which
did full clear Forest Temple and did actually more of Shadow than you did.
yeah, he went all the way to the chest before the boat in Shadow.
Gotcha.
And actually went back to GTG, and the only thing that was in the the Strength 2 locked checks was the Goron Sword.
Yep.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I thought about going back to GTG just to check those, but it didn't feel. I had better things to do. And I was like, I already kind of isolated those checks. I was like, I'll just hope nothing's there. Do other things.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what your thoughts were when you went to Light Trial and you see that big chest and you pop it open and it's Hammer?
Yeah, that. Well, I was okay with that. I was like, yeah, I need. It'd be nice to have either hammer or bigger on sword. So yeah, I was okay with that. I was scared that maybe I had to go back to like I don't know fire or something, but luckily that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting at a point in the early mid game where you'd be in DC. Well, Sam had looked at Adult Spirit and there found out that there was A, not much of anything in there, and that B, that it was mirror locked.
Mhm.
And then it was kind of like, okay, we've got Shadow Forest, and that's about it for major plays,
Yeah.
which was fun. Or even a bit before that, even before the Spirit play, was Shadow Forest in the Well, because the game threw everything at you for your stone dungeons except for that hammer very early.
Right. So did Sam like after he went forest and found the light arrows? Did he just continue and do the whole thing, or did he
Yep.
dip and then
Yep.
later?
Yeah, he did the
Oh,
whole
okay,
thing in one go.
gotcha.
And there was
Well,
nothing else to my memory in Forest
there
Temple.
was like a bomb bag or something in there, and I think the
Bow.
paperweight.
There was the second bow.
Yeah, there was
Or maybe
some
I don't know.
nothing.
There was
Nothing.
no progression.
No, no, that's for
Right.
sure. No progression there. It could have paid out, and I think it made sense for him at that point, especially because he didn't have the hint setting pointing him to Shadow. He also didn't have a magic
Mhm.
meter at the time. Um, now that I
Oh,
think
that
about it, which
was
certainly wasn't helping. Uh,
yeah, that was in adult archery, right? In
yeah,
CAC.
and
Yeah,
he
it
ended
took
up
him a
routing
while
that.
to go to adult archery.
He
Okay.
routed that eventually with 20 skulls, I believe. But yeah, that took him a little bit. So yeah, he it made sense from his perspective without the shadow play being on the table really for him. It could have paid off. We were worried about AD for a bit, but
Yeah, that was always kind of looming in the background.
Was in the back of your head that when it's Saria song or storms, it's like, well, it's not 100% required, but it could definitely rear its head.
Yeah, and there was like the Goron City to Twin Rovas, which maybe it wasn't the strength.
yeah.
Yeah,
um,
maybe it's mirror.
yeah, maybe it's mirror after doing AD for Sarias.
hmm Yeah, the shadow was interesting there because obviously you had the market to Baronade, which you had Dins, though you hadn't checked bowling at that point yet, but I guess we kind of figured it was probably for Dins, though I know you. And then obviously matching covers at a CAC, but we later confirmed to be the path there. Um, Kind of a choice between like, okay, long shot in the very first chest. Do I continue? Do I go beat Foolish Water for what might be Eponas and go GTG? What was, I guess, kind of your thought
Yeah,
process there,
that
Flea?
that's exactly what I was thinking. I figured like, yeah, I'll see if the long shot was path. Yeah, I did Foolish Water just to see what the song was at Temple of Time. And when it's Opponents, I was like, okay, all of GTG is locked by the Dins, so I figured that was a good place to go.
Yeah, and it did end up working out. Densla's path actually, as it works, as it were, for both the long shot and for the and for the Kokiri swords in Shadow Temple, because
Hmm,
because scale was in Deku, and we never found gold scale that I know of.
right.
We did not find gold scale.
And gold skill, it's probably Din's locked anyway, given that we saw most of the seed and didn't can't find it.
Sam actually continued on in Shadow when they first went there. And then when we saw
Oh,
Kokiri Sword, we were a little worried, like, oh, when is Flea gonna go back? And luckily, it didn't take you too much time to go back.
right. Yeah, I figured I had some progression to do after finding Longshot, and it wasn't hard to go back to Shadow later if I needed to.
I I don't think I have any questions. I don't know if you have any more, Star or chat. Do you
Not
have any questions?
particularly. Yeah, I think chat's pretty much about done here. So, you get hyper next, Flea. Thoughts about that matchup?
I'm pretty scared about that, but I'll do my best. I think I've done, in the past maybe month or two, like whenever I'm doing practice races, sometimes Hyper's in those races, and I don't think I've ever come ahead of Hyper. But
Just got to do.
1v1 situations are different, so never know what'll happen.
Maybe you just got to beat him once.
Exactly.
Good luck on that.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
In which case, then, please give both programs a follow. Once again, Sam and Flea. Thank you to Sir Nykel for joining me on the commentary, and to Carliana and Lady Draker for doing the tracking. Coming up ahead on the schedule, this is a wrap for ZSR for today. However, we do have more matches coming up throughout the week, both for the Season 8 Standard Tournament here and for the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament. Both their main bracket and the Nibiru Invitational Tournament, which is their equivalent of a Challenge Cup, basically. So we've got more matches coming up throughout the week for both tournaments. Next one for OTR is going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Volk versus Sponge will be here on ZSR, and then we'll have more throughout the week.
Thank
But
you.
for now,
Thank you.
that is going to be it here for us. We were talking about the Challenge Cup earlier. We're going to go over and raid them over to the Silver Gauntlets. They're about 2.5 hours into a race of their own. Still looking for a couple items from Go Mode, it looks like, from both sides, so we'll see how they're doing. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next time.
And thank you to Star for being my co-commentator.
Absolutely.